Well, it's 1st January 2020. Happy New Year. And let's begin the year by talking about the LinkedIn marketing trends and strategies for 2020. And this video is for digital marketers, B2B business owners, and professionals. Before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button. LinkedIn has been one of my favorite digital channels in 2019, and I'm sure it's going to be one of the top performers for my agency and our partner companies in 2020 as well. One of the advantages that LinkedIn has is a really high organic reach. Now, before I lay out the strategy and talk about the trends for 2020 on how to market on LinkedIn, let's talk about what you should not be doing on LinkedIn. In 2019, I observed that the spamming through LinkedIn has dramatically increased. Because you see, what people generally do is send connection requests on LinkedIn, and then all they start doing is sending out messages after messages about, hey, I have this great service, sign up. I have this great offer, sign up. Free service, low cost, blah blah blah, sign up. Right? So you see, you without even building that connection, all you're doing is it's let me give you a scenario. It's like picking up the phone and calling a cold lead and telling them that, I got your number from XYZ, sign up. Right? Never going to convert like that, right? So that's one. Stop doing that. Stop sending a connection request and spamming the inbox. Those messages hardly ever, once in a blue moon may get converted. Otherwise, they don't convert at all. So stop spamming. In fact, when you do that, you spoil the relationship with that potential connection, because when somebody does that to me, I am never going to respond to their messages and they are blacklisted. So one, stop doing that. Number two, LinkedIn also gives you the option to extract the email ID of your connections, and what other people do generally is they get these email IDs and they add the email IDs to the email automation. Now, that's really non-permission based marketing. You're adding them to an automation, so stop doing that, because hey, nobody gave you the permission by accepting your LinkedIn connection that you can start spamming them with your product and service email. So please don't do these two things. They actually kill your connection with a potential customer. So now that you know what not to do on LinkedIn, let's talk about my 6-step process to grow your B2B business, or if you're a professional, this is going to really help you get more clients. So I have 6 steps here. Step number 1, define your target audience, right? It's really important that you define your target audience on a piece of paper, the age bracket, the job titles, the demographic data, the city, the location, everything. First, define it clearly. That's where a lot of marketers and business owners, fall back on the marketing, because they do not clearly define who their target audience is. That's the first, step in any marketing campaign, right? So define your target audience, and also make sure that you clean up your profile. And by cleaning up your profile, I mean you make your profile, much more interactive to your target audience. Right? So when your target audience, sees your profile, they should be like, hey, this is the person I want to connect with, because they understand my problems, right? So an example of this is my profile. If you go study my profile, see how I have my, the bio and how my entire profile is laid out, speaking to a particular audience, you will understand that, probably you could add a few elements from my profile. So really, really important. Step number 1, define your ideal audience, target audience, and also adjust and enhance and rework on your profile to make it more appealing to your target audience. Once you do that, step number 2, based on the demographical filters, search on LinkedIn for your potential target audience. LinkedIn has great filters. Just in the search bar, just type out who do you want to connect with, CEOs of real estate company, of IT company in a specific location, and just do that, and it'll give you a list of all the people who fall in that category, and start sending them connection requests. Now, obviously, on a free profile, you cannot send out a lot of connection requests, so you will have to upgrade to a premium account. But you know what, it's really worth it, right? Since our ticket size is huge as a B2B business owner or as a service provider, ticket size is really huge, right? So that small upgrade in the premium isn't really going to, put a big hole in your pocket. Plus it enhances your connection sending request, right, limit, sorry. So make it a point to do that. That's step number 2. So let's talk about step number 3. So once you start sending out the connection requests, you also want to make it a point that people who accept your connections, you do not want to spam them with stupid messages like, hey, buy my product, buy my service, blah 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 blah, and get discount. Nothing of that sort. If you think of a typical sales cycle for a B2B business, it's ideally 5 months to anywhere about a year long, right? Depending on the ticket size. The higher the ticket size, the larger the ticket size, the longer the sales cycle. So you want to start with connecting with your potential customers and the prospects, right? So try and genuinely send them messages which are of connection building rather than selling and pitching, right? You do not want to immediately start off the bat by pitching or selling. You want to build the connection, because typically you want to win that trust, right, to move and get them to move ahead in the sales cycle. So make it a point to legitimately and genuinely try and connect with the prospects that connect with you on your LinkedIn account. Take the time, go through their profile, see what's peculiar about them, see what they like, what they are interested in apart from your industry, and start connecting on those points. Step number 4, think of LinkedIn marketing like email marketing. Every single day you want to be posting something on your LinkedIn profile. Now, post about education or other content, but you want to make it a point that you're posting every single day so that your connections are reading your stuff. Since the organic reach is so high, you can expect a lot of your connections to read through your stuff, even if they don't engage with you right off the bat. Come on, because they're really new, right? They don't know you so well, so engagement may take time. But even if people don't engage, if you have something that they need, if you have a solution to a problem that they have, they will read every single word that you have to write, given you provide valuable content. So make it a point that you're posting every single day on your LinkedIn account. Take advantage of a really high organic reach. Step number 5, mix up your content, right? So don't just keep posting about your services and your products every single day. So make it a mix of nice, entertaining stories. Now think about it, as marketers we always need to sell stories, right? So even if you're pitching your product, you want to put it in a nice story based format. So your stories could be based on entertainment, education, motivation, and the best is a combination of all the 3, right? So post every single day and a story about your product and how your products and services had a great effect and changed your customer's life, and how you could turn that into a motivational piece. So things like that, or how somebody working in your office, your factory, your unit, does a really great job, and that's a great motivational piece, right? So it also talks about your culture, your brand, your company's culture, right? So think about these 3 aspects. This really works well on LinkedIn, especially inspiring business stories. So make it a point to keep it a mix of entertainment, education, motivation, and best is a combination of all the 3. But inspiring stories every single day is what you want to be posting. And of course, at the end of it, you always want to push across your products and services, but very, very subtly, right? In a story-based format, which is what will typically build up the engagement over a period of time. And step number 6, and the last step, is the most simple step. Keep repeating it. Do not give up. Keep your LinkedIn premium account on, and for as many months as possible. I would say do not ever stop it. Do not ever stop the cycle of the first 5 steps. Repeat the first 5 steps for as long as you can. And if you keep doing this, I promise you, in a few months, you will have more leads converting into clients. You will have more prospects coming to you, booking an appointment with your sales team, or asking for a product demo, or whatever you have to offer, right? Moving ahead in the sales cycle, right? So the whole point is, do not stop this. LinkedIn is such a gold mine in 2020, and especially if you have a B2B business or if you're a professional, you really wouldn't want to miss on this gold mine and take advantage and generate massive business and sales using LinkedIn. I hope the 6-step strategy works well for you. I hope you implement it and see results, and let me know if you have any thoughts about the 6 steps, and of course let me know what are your thoughts about LinkedIn in 2020. LinkedIn, I have to admit, that had been the second highest sales generator for us organically. We didn't spend on advertising, of course. We spent time building the connections and on content creation, but apart from that, zero advertising. And we, LinkedIn still generated a lot of revenue for us in 2019, and we hope, and to an extent, I'm really sure that it's going to be at the second position in 2020 as well. And I'm sure if you put in a lot of efforts on LinkedIn, it could topple email marketing as my favorite digital marketing channel. Alright, so I'll talk to you in the video tomorrow. 2020, you can expect some really great content on the Marketing Nerdz channel. This is me, Karan Dharamsi, signing off for today. I wish you all a great and a successful and a profitable year with a lot of clicks, conversions and sales. Talk to you soon.